Ladies and gentlemen, the world has come to Columbus, Ohio as part of the 17th World Driving Championship. 10 of the finest drivers in all the world are being brought down for our opening ceremonies tonight. This is the most prestigious championship in all the parimutuel sports for individual drivers or jockeys. And this marks the first time in more than 2 decades that these great drivers have gathered on American shores to contest this championship. On behalf of the United States Trotting Association, the host organization for this year's championship, and the International Trotting Association, we welcome you to Scioto Down. Ladies and gentlemen, the men I'm about to introduce have won more than 20,000 races lifetime. They are the champions of the world. First of all, let me call forward from Australia a gentleman who is the 1993-94 Australian champion and winner of the 1992 Aussie Challenge. He has more than 1,500 victories. Started at the tender age of 14, but he has a remarkable streak of more than 9 seasons with 100+ victories. Lance Justice. Our youngest competitor comes from our nearest neighbor, Canada. Daniel Dubé, however, at age 26, is no stranger to international competition. This young Quebecois represented Canada in the Russian Driving Championship, which he won. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Canada, Monsieur Daniel Dubé. Greeting all our drivers here, of course, from Scioto Downs, Ms. Laverne Hill, Mr. Bob Steele, Race Secretary Jim Ewart, Director of Publicity and Public Relations, Mr. Tom White. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, like many of our competitors, he started very young. He at age 16. He's a great trainer in his native France and races not only to sulky but under saddle. Our representative from France, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Monsieur Jean-Claude Allais. Next, ladies and gentlemen from the Netherlands, the 1991 champion, only the first time for that honor for this gentleman. You may remember him. He's raced in Delaware in the Breeders' Crown. Francis Jetboko, a horse that he campaigned here in the United States. In 1992, he was both the Dutch champion and European champion from the Netherlands, Hugo Langeweg. Our next gentleman comes from down under. He's won every major race in his country. He is the former world driving champion, the only former champion of this competition in our field here this year. He won that in 1985 at the tender age of 26. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from New Zealand, Mr. Tony Herlihy. Ladies and gentlemen, our next competitor from Norway is in rather select company. He ranks third in his native country all time in the number of victories at the start of this year with over 3,100. He has won many major stakes, including the Norwegian Derby, his country's most prestigious event. Please welcome from Norway, Hans Petter Tolfsen. Ladies and gentlemen, in the country of Spain, harness racing is in but its infancy. That's why this year, headlines were written throughout the continent by this young man who won the European Driving Championship, thus qualifying for this competition. He has already won in this competition this year. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Spain's Juan Antonio Riera Rosello. Our next gentleman comes to us from Kiev in the Ukraine. In his native land, he is a harness racing legend, a country once behind the Iron Curtain, which is mad for trotting horses. He is a star. He has won over 1,200 races during his great career. He is our good friend and tovarich, Vladimir Blokin. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a gentleman who on the British Isles has won over 1,500 races, the first at the tender age of 15, a man dedicated to spreading the word of standardbred racing across the Great British Isles. We hope he's successful in that respect. He won the very first race in this competition this year. Please welcome from Great Britain, Mr. Michael Lord. The current points leader in this competition, which has had two legs. We started the series in Chicago the day before yesterday, racing in the afternoon at Balmoral Park, and in the evening at Sportsman's Park. This gentleman, racing in his own backyard, used, as the Chicago Tribune said, the home court advantage to win a race both in the afternoon and evening. He's the current points leader. He won over 600 races last year to lead all of North America. Our representative here from the United States, Mr. Dave McGee. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The champions of the world who have come here to race 3 races. This is the third of 6 stops in the 1995 World Driving Championship, the 17th such event, which will continue tomorrow at Cleveland, Sunday at the Meadows, and then have its conclusion on the 19th, Tuesday afternoon at nearby Delaware, Ohio. Please cheer for your favorites, and we wish all the gentlemen great and good luck here tonight and a safe trip in each of your 3 starts. Now, ladies and gentlemen, all scoring for the World Driving Championship is done on a points basis. The winner of each race receives 17 points, the runner-up receives 12, and then the number of points diminish on down to the trailer who wins 1. Now, the purse money being raced here tonight will be going completely to the owners. The purses that these gentlemen are after have been posted by the member countries who support this competition, including the United States, and the winner of this competition will earn enough money to have won the equivalent of a $400,000 stake. These are outstanding professionals. I think you're going to see some great driving. Gentlemen, once again, good luck.